Hello and welcome, FPL managers. And of course, we are back after a long, long break. At least it comes across as a very long break, to be honest. But yeah, Happy New Year to everyone. And yeah, good to see you, Bethany. And of course, this is the
And you?
zonal weakness for Game Week 21. How are you, Bethany?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. Missing FPL. It feels like a long time since we've done anything. Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, it is. How was your game week?
It was really good actually. A bit of a roller coaster because I was a Salah captainer, so had that penalty miss and then obviously a ton of points. So felt very fortunate. I also owned Palmer, so that was great too. So I think I ended up on 92 points, and it's taken me up to around 600,000, which, considering I was 2 million about 5 or 6 weeks ago, I'm really pleased with. Definitely heading in the right direction, and feels like that top 100,000 is within reach again. So yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I had a great game week, 96 points. Salah
Nice.
captain similarly. Yeah, I literally switched off after halftime when it was 0-0 with Salah penalty miss. I was like, okay, I'm not going to sleep with this. So I decided to watch something else. And only after finishing that, checked back to see the score, and I was pretty surprised with the points.
Yeah, I
So yeah,
bet.
very happy with it. And at least, on a good point, it's up. So I'm back into the inside the 500,000 K. So that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
nice.
hope. And I think one thing is clear, with you, making this progress from 2 million to 600,000 right now. It just goes to show that patience is key here, and it's a marathon, not really a
Definitely,
sprint. Yeah,
definitely.
so it just proves it again. But anyway, we are back for the game week 21, and it's good that FPL is going to start. The game week was supposed to start on Saturday, but now it's been moved to Friday. So yeah, we have a bit of a early deadline. So yeah, that's why
Yeah.
we're back. So let's get started. And of course, this is the zonal weakness for Game Week 21, powered by Fantasy Football Scout. And if you haven't followed or liked or subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so, because that's where we are doing the zonal regularly. So yeah, please don't miss out all the videos that we're producing. It's pretty short, so do keep an eye. And of course, we're trying to make it as interesting and as analytical as possible. And all the data that you see is, of course, from the Fantasy Football Scout members area. If you're interested in the membership and get a 20% discount, then please click on the link in the description below, and you would get access to the membership with the 20% discount. And of course, you will have all the data available for you, and you can look at all the 20 teams' zonal weakness, but also other data that you may need in order to do the analysis. Right, let's go and see what, before we move into the next, this week's zonal. I just want to bring up this one. This is basically looking at half the season of zonal review. So basically, it shows the correct score percentage as well as the incorrect score percentage. So, what do you think of that?
Yeah, so it definitely shows it's worth taking note of the zonal weakness, with an average of 58% correct, compared to 42% incorrect. So definitely worth taking it into account. And you can see, obviously, some weeks you're as high as 81%, which is just incredible. So yeah, definitely when you're making those transfer decisions or who to bench decisions, definitely worth taking it into account.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, don't miss any videos or the Twitter threads that we are producing every week. So keep an eye on our YouTube channel and of course on our Twitter page. Yeah. All right. So this is the table for zonal weakness for Game Week 21, and yeah, what stands out?
I think the first group that stands out for me is those Man City players. So I think Haaland, obviously, we're not sure what's happening with him yet, but you've got loads of other choices there. With Foden, Foden's a great shout. He's somebody I'm looking at bringing in this week. Alvarez, lots of people already own. And if you fancied someone a little bit of a differential, maybe instead of Foden, but in midfield, I think Bernardo Silva is a great differential as well. And again, all of them look great on zonal, with ranked second, fourth. So yeah, Man City definitely someone to be looking at this week. Moving on, I think Chelsea in there. Obviously, at the moment, it doesn't look like anyone's highlighted for Chelsea, but I just wanted to point out that Palmer there for chances conceded on the left flank is actually ranked 6th, so he's just outside of the range that we'd normally highlight. So we'd normally highlight 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So he's just outside that, so he's still a great shout this week. Again, we're looking, most of us, to replace midfielders. Players like Son and Salah go into their international duty. So as well as your Man City options, Arsenal obviously also look good this week with players like Saka or Odegaard, maybe even the double up. And Richarlison is also a great shout for covering those midfield spots, I think, ranked 2nd and 5th there. So I really like all of those options in midfield. Interesting just to note is that Watkins doesn't stand out this week. He's ranked 10th and 16th for his zonal weakness areas. So although he's fine for to hold and to play, I probably wouldn't be captaining him this week. And again, we've kind of lost most of our main Liverpool players that most people own. So Salah's gone off, and unfortunately, we just found out that Trent is injured. So I wouldn't be rushing to buy any other Liverpool players this week, as none of them particularly stand out on the zonal weakness.
So would you be interested in Richarlison in the absence of Son?
I think he's a good shout, but I think you do need to take it with that little bit of caution that they will be a different team without Son. We're not quite sure how they're going to play without him yet, as he's only just gone. So potentially, I would maybe go for like your Foden this week, and then maybe move in Richarlison next week instead. Once you've seen a week without Son, and they've obviously also just brought in forgotten his name.
Bowen.
No, Spurs. Who have they just signed?
Werner.
Yeah, Werner. So see how that we don't know how that's going to affect when he comes in. I think I really like Richarlison but I liked him with Son. So it'll be a great week to kind of test him this week. Obviously, he looks like he should, on paper, from the zonal weakness, do really well. And if he does, I think that maybe somebody we look at next week, but maybe not the priority this week.
Yeah, I really like that tweet from All About FPL, where they kind of showcase that FPL is not really ready with the image showing Jackson, Darwin, and Warner. Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. Anyway, let's move to the next table and see what says. So here it is. Bowen unfortunate, but
so obviously Bowen's standing out there, and I know lots of people have owned him. So again, another slot that we might be needing to fill. So do be warned that he looks like he's out for at least this week, maybe a couple of weeks. So if you have a good bench, I'd be keeping him. If unfortunately, like me, you don't have those bench options, you may have to sell. But it is a shame because obviously his zonal weakness looks great, and he is in form otherwise. The other ones that stand out, obviously, you've got players from Man United highlighted there, and Rashford, Dalla, and Haaland. I personally won't be going there. I just don't trust them at the moment. They may look good on the zonal this week, but it's that long-term planning as well that you've got to take into account, and I just don't trust them long-term. I think the other interesting team to look at from here is Brentford. So Tony, no longer banned. He should be back this week. And I can imagine with players like Mbeumo out that he will get that run around. I think he'll start and get decent minutes. So again, I'm not going to suggest that you buy any Brentford players this week. But I think things should change with him back in the team. And so then we could be looking at either Tony as an option or other Brentford players once we see what they're like with him back in that team. And again, just to highlight, a lot of us have got Solanke or other Bournemouth assets, and they've done really well for us recently. The numbers aren't looking great this week from the zonal weakness perspective, but they are coming up against a Liverpool team that is very different than the last 6 weeks. So that Liverpool team will be without Salah, and they will be without Trent. So again, I wouldn't be kind of rushing to bring Solanke in this week if you don't already own him. I wouldn't be rushing to captain anybody there, but I think they're more than fine to play against them.
Yeah, the two strikers, at least I own, Watkins and Solanke, doesn't really look good this week. So yeah, somebody from the midfielder but then you don't have Son and Salah either. So captain choice is going to be an interesting one this
Yeah,
week.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, team of the week, and here it is.
So again, like we've already discussed, really, I think the priorities this week for most of us are going to be midfielders because of the fact that we're losing Salah, Son. You've got players like Bowen also out now, Hwang. Lots of people owned him. So I think I'd be prioritising a midfielder move this week. I love all four of those options. I think they're great. I own two of them already. I own Palmer and Saka, and I'm likely going to be bringing in Foden this week. I think I'd probably prioritise Foden and Palmer out of those four. I think they're most in form, and they haven't had that change up so much in as much as kind of Richarlison has without Son. So I'd be going for Foden or Palmer if you're looking for a midfielder this week, and then maybe Richarlison or Saka if you're looking for more than one. Again, people might be looking to move on a defender, maybe moving Trent on, or if they're holding Trent, maybe they want to upgrade their fourth or fifth defender to be able to get out three decent ones this week. So out of those that look good from the zonal weakness, I really like Porro. I think if you don't own Porro already, he's just got so many routes to points. He's so attacking. Even if they don't get the clean sheet, he's likely to get you a return. So I think he's a great option this week.
Yeah, so with so many injuries and so many players missing, and I think this week's zonal is going to be pretty interesting in the sense that, if you're looking for replacement, there are quite a number of good options there, as Bethany's already highlighted. But yeah, I think that's it for this week then. Yeah,
Yep.
thank you so much, Bethany. And of
That's
course,
all
I'll
right.
see
Thanks
you
for having
next
me.
week for 𝐿𝐴𝐸 22. But
Brilliant.
until then, audience, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to our channel. And of course, we'll be continue doing the zonal weakness. But until then, have a great game week, and we'll see you in 𝐿𝐴𝐸 22. Goodbye.